I'm thinking about the whole Calliope got to be wiped off the face of this earth, you know. So I went through that because at the end of the day, like I say, him and I was known to hang out together. So people were like, "What you gonna do? Your reputation on the line." And it was like I had to step up. I had to, do something because I didn't want to be looked at as a little chump, a coward, or a sucker. And it led to a lot of my family members and friends being hurt, shot, killed, because of that peer pressure. So we robbed those guys, and one of them had a white truck. Now, mind you, my old head, Lester them, they had 2 white Astro vans in the project. So when the boys at the Calliope, they had bulletproof trucks and stuff. One bulletproof truck, but when they come back there in the Magnolia shooting, there was a wall. So when somebody reported it, it was like a white truck. So at this time, me and my best friend, we in a white truck, and we go through the Milford Bean project. The police put their siren, get behind us. We get the high speed chase. So we wind up heading back to the Magnolia. Now, mind you, we don't know that there's been a big shooting in the Magnolia because we went outside the Magnolia in this neighborhood around 2nd and D. And when we make it back to the Magnolia, we jump out, run, we get caught, go to juvenile jail, and that's how all that stuff come about.
My project and the Calliope project, we were together. We was like trade beef. We were click tight together, and that's what Master P got ready to do that Bout It movie in '96, and I was supposed to be in that movie. But right before I was able to get in that movie, that's when I fell out with the Calliope project, so I wasn't able to be in a part of that Bout It movie, that first movie he shot. But P at the time, no, we weren't beefing then.
My brother, one of my big brothers, was shot up in my truck. I told him don't go around the Calliope. He hit the truck up. They went around where my grandfather lived. My mother was sitting in the back seat of the car. They pull up trying to shoot my little brother. He hit the ground, and they scream, "Oh, we got his brother, we got his brother." But unbeknownst to them, the bullet went through the trunk, went through the back seat, and hit my mother in the back left of her arm, her shoulder.
The first one to die was Mosquito. He had went in the Calliope project. All right, one of their friends was killed, and they felt that it was Mosquito, Sterling, myself that had to do it. And Mosquito went back there thinking it was all good, and they shot him up like 20-something times. So I got a phone call, and I would talk to them on the payphone. So I was like, is he dead? They was like, man, I don't know. So they'll pass the phone. They kept passing the phone to each other. And I went back there to Cali. When I went back there, he was laying in the driveway on his back, hit up, and clearly he dead. So I was like, oh, they want to play these crackhead games. So from there, that's how the war kicked off between the Magnolia and the Calliope project. They had killed him. Then the second person to get killed was Sterling. Him and I were in we had went downtown. We had went to go on Canal Street to Foot Locker. And we had went to Iberville project to holler at one of the guys he knew. And as we stand up talking, this guy walk up, start coming up the street, putting a handkerchief around his face. And this girl was like, y'all better run, that boy got a gun. So me and Sterling look at each other, and I just took off running, and he ran behind me the same way I went, and I heard the shots. I ran through the cut, came back around, and he had shot Sterling in the back of his head 7 times. And, Dooney was killed in 2000. I was in prison, and he had a little turf war, whereas he was in the project, and he didn't want the young boys that was living in the project to sell in a certain courtyard. So the little young boy came out one day, shot, hit him in the side, and he died of internal bleed. I thought we were untouchable. Like I said, New Orleans have killers all over the city. But I just thought that the four of us was like, man, it was an awesome force, And for Sterling, and he older than I am, and to see my big bro laying on his ground, and at the time he still was like, gasping for air, and I was like, man, and it was turn up season from there. You know, but one thing we didn't do what they're doing today, we didn't do drive-by shootings, hit innocent children, hit innocent people. You know, we kept it. It was like with us, we didn't do long distance shooting. It was like when I pull this trigger, I got to get my man, because if I shoot at this guy and miss him, I know I'm the target. You know, so it was like, but you know, there was like 30, 40 deep, and it was just only 3 of us.
Notes from my life story and know that you don't have a point to prove to nobody at the end of the day, because when you go to prison, none of them are going to be there for you. Nobody's going to be there for you but your family or the ones who love you, man. Trust me. I done went through it. 23 years and 10 months of it.
Sometimes we got to just look at the fact that history repeats itself. Look at the story with Gangsta. Outside all the snitching allegations, outside all the messiness, this guy got a serious testimony and a story to tell. This man's mama been shot due to this violence that goes on in these hoods, in these streets. He lost all of his homeboys. He saw the murders of 2 of his homeboys, and he saw all of them dead. He saw his partners take their last breaths. Man, it's bad, the things that go on in the hood, man. And all of us can relate to these situations that's been near and dear to the hood, that's been near and dear to black culture. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to realize, even the people that remove themselves away from it, these are still their family members that still living in the hood. So it touched the black community as a whole. And when you look at Gangsta, all the stuff that went on, all the people that were shot, these guys grow up on their trek to school, going to school. You got drug use going on. You got the big dope boys going on. You got shooting going on. You got violence going on. You got big guns out here. People bragging and they glamorizing their side of life. So what do you expect a young brother to do when he growing up in impoverished conditions? You know what I'm saying? They get you out there, you have a good time, 5 to 10 years, and that's my motto, and I pay attention to this game. 5 to 10 years of a good run, and next thing you know, you gone for the rest of your life. But is it worth it? You know what I'm saying? When you look at Gangsta story, man, it's a miracle, it's a blessing. You know what I'm saying, that this guy come up out of this situation, and he's still able to survive and keep a sane mind. Man, do you understand what these guys go through? Just imagine staring in the eyes of a person you grew up with, you share some of your best memories with, and you looking in their eyes as they take their last breath, man, leaving this earth. But see, over the years, they have always made these stories, these big gangster stories, but it's good when you can see these people and you can see their personality for themselves, man. Then you in a city of nothing but murderers. You in a city where you gotta watch your back, man, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can't take your mama to the store, because guess what? The ops might have been lurking. But we can tie this into today's time. Check out Lil Durk and them. Check out the LBG game. Check out them guys in New York that's with the Dreamer. Check out Jacksonville, Florida, ATK. And then you can see the amount of time this man lost in his life. He talking about beepers. He left the street when beepers was still on the streets, when the internet wasn't even the internet that we know it as right now. And that might really seem like he realizing the value of real living, man. And a lot of people out here on these streets free and not even honoring the freedom that they have and the liberties they have, man, to do things, man. Throwing our life away with the bucket, the crab in the barrel effect. It's in full effect.